So he just got finished showing him on that clip where they sync all the local media reports by together that say, we're on the lookout for misinformation, that sort of thing. So he
Dangerous
asked,
to our democracy.
yes, exactly. And so he asked Cuomo, he was on the inside. And what we're about to hear is Chris Cuomo say, particularly about how he said that in that clip where he says, who said rioting's supposed to be peaceful? Tell me what you think he said here, because it sounds like on one hand that he's saying that they cut the clip short, but then on the other hand, it sounds like he's saying that the clip wasn't cut short, but nobody cared to ask what he means about it, which is that he thinks that it's all against the law.
One sister and says, Chris, you were on the inside, bro. This is the kind of stuff that causes us to not trust anybody. Now that you're somewhat on the outside, you're still with News Nation, but you got your own show. Now you see the reason why American people lost trust in media?
Well, no, I don't see it differently now. Look, I can't say this strongly enough. I do not believe, and I have never experienced, and look, people can like what I do, don't like what I do. The answer to your question is why I sound different is we've never had a conversation before. Is that most exposure to what I do is things taken in clips and put out into a context that people want it to be in. I don't believe in the First Amendment.
Lie.
You can't download things. All this bullshit that people say about me is
okay. The first thing is going there, Eric, as we know very well. You can't. It's illegal for you to get this, so that's why you're getting it.
The
from
emails,
me.
yes.
That's not it's the Hillary Clinton emails. That's not an out of context clip. What he's saying is true. Is that you're not a regular person is not allowed to be in possession of stolen emails if they were found to be in possession of something that is illegal for them to possess it. You're allowed to read it through the media, but what he said, they didn't cover any of the good stuff. They didn't cover, them selling the ambassadorship to wherever. They didn't cover, $1 million for the Moroccan president to meet with Bill Clinton. They didn't cover, 50,000 hot dogs for this pizza party at the White House. They didn't cover any of that. So what they're saying is only come to us because it's dangerous for you to get the stuff. And therefore, what we're saying is you can trust us to sift through it. They were caught lying throughout the whole thing. And he acts like that's not something that was accurately portrayed because of this clip. I'm sorry that your clips of you are shit. And I was saying this when I was watching this the other day with people saying that, the only reason Chris Cuomo sounds differently is because he knows he's going to mention how nobody ever told him to say anything, is he has to still self-filter himself through this lens of people that pay him. When you work for the CNNs, and I don't know anything about News Nation, but you still have to self-censor because there's things that you can't say. So when he's talking about, I sound different because you meet me, people like Patrick Bet-David, Joe Rogan, Tim Pool, they don't have to be, super careful about what they say because you can go back and look at the clip. I'm sorry that you work for CNN and people consumed you through this hour broadcast every night. But when Tim Pool says something and somebody clips it out, he can say, here is the full context. It doesn't sound like that's what's happening with Chris Cuomo. It sounds like what he's about to talk about is him saying, you just misunderstood me. That's all that's out there. So you don't really know me.
Bro, they think we are incredibly, incredibly stupid. So Fredo, remember there was a clip where we thought he might be coming into like a moment of clarity or something? I don't know if you remember that when he I was on his other radio show or Sirius XM or something and sort of had this epiphany where he this was only shortly before he was out, booted from CNN, where he said something along the lines of how he wasn't enjoying it. And he sort of alluded to the idea that he knew maybe something was wrong. We also have possibly right behind the Hillary Clinton email thing, there was the situation of him pretending to be quarantining, and he was.
Yeah, I was going to mention that.
Yeah, and then we have the "I'll throw you down these stairs" out on Fire Island in New York,
fighting the guy on the motorcycle.
Well, I think it wasn't it a bicycle? I think it was just
Whatever.
a bicycle. But yeah. So, and then we also have the Q-tip incident, right, where the establishment is telling us that we are living through the most deadly disease ever, and if you don't wear this mask, then you're going to kill. It's all about respect, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you remember when Andrew Cuomo at some point in time switched it from being from keeping you safe from a deadly disease to being about respect? Wait, so bro, I thought this was about safety and health and well-being, but you pivoted and literally are putting billboards up all over the city, and I realized this is Andrew, but they are obviously brothers. They were both handed everything on a silver platter because their crooked, corrupt father was the governor, but that's a completely different story. So somehow Andrew Cuomo turned it to where it's no longer about health and safety, but it's about respect. And then you guys go on and have a little Cuomo prime time where you guys are laughing and joking with a giant Q-tip. So on one day, this is the most deadly disease ever. On the second day, you guys are doing prop comedy on a news show. and it goes without saying, but I'll say it anyways. Do we think for one split second that Don Jr. could be on cable TV 5 nights out of the week and there wouldn't be a conflict of interest if his dad is in any political office? But somehow, some way, Chris Fredo Cuomo is allowed to go on television 5 nights out of the week while his brother is the governor creating mandates and curfews and ruining the entire economy, and then had the nerve to say, if you're eager to get back to work, then you should choose an essential job, and then write a book about how good of a leader he was, and then create a poster and sell a poster about climbing the mountain of COVID and coming back down the other side, all before getting kicked out of office for playing grab ass with a secretary or something? Give me a break, bro. These people are despicable, and it drives me up a wall.
That might have been one of your greatest promos of all time, Eric.
Turn it up, Jordan.